Up here at the bees, y'all, I'm gonna try to harvest some honey. I haven't been in them in about probably 4 or 5 weeks. They're working hard, a lot of flying, so we're gonna get in there and just see if there's a little bit of honey we can sneak away with to try to get through the winter on. Because we need some. We've only got a tiny little bit left from last year, but I definitely want to make sure I'm leaving my bees plenty as well. So we're just going to ease in here and see what there is. We have our honey extractor here. I have this crew right here, and I am going to show them how to uncap these frames, put them in the extractor, and extract the honey, because I've got other things I've got to go do right now. So I am going to let them. This one here is completely exhausted, evidently. He's yawning big time. So anyway, we're going to let Jack, Josiah, Jacob, and Hope work on extracting this honey.
It's honey, y'all. Look, we have, well, they've taken some in, but we got 5 quarts of straight honey and 1 quart of miscommunication honey. So Derek had told the kids to cut the comb and put it in the jar, and it got chopped into little bits and crammed in the jar. We were talking like big chunks of comb and the honey in the jar, but it's okay. It'll be.
I told them that was their honey, and they didn't care. They were excited.
They like to chew on the wax anyway. And then we have this is a strainer full of wax that's going to be rendered. I'm going to have to heat it and get all the debris out. It'll be nice, good, clean wax that I can then use in like salves and balms and lip balm and things like that.
Deodorant.
Deodorant, yes. It goes in our deodorant because we make our own deodorant.
We are canning broth.
And beef.
And beef. Beef bone broth, to be exact. We have the bone broth over here that we boiled for how many hours?
Over 48. It was
Yeah.
a little over 48.
Yep. And then we put it in the cooler, let it cool down. We took the hard fat off of the top of it. We have all of this, like a round steak, a piece of sirloin.
There's some flank steak.
Don't talk about these little fillets.
Yeah.
But, you know, I know fillets are like the prime. I prefer ribeye. But
I like filet.
she likes filet. But they're going to be a lot more beneficial to us.
Well, there's like 2 little tiny ones. So.
In the stew. Yeah. So we're going to can this beef with the broth with an F,
broth.
2 F's.
And I'll say that with the beef broth, we do beef broth. Now you have me doing it. Beef broth, we do skim the fat off, take the fat off at the end because it can siphon and then you won't get a seal because of the grease.
Yeah.
The chicken broth, a lot of people will do that, but it really doesn't have as much fat, so I don't do the chicken broth. I go ahead and can it, and it's fine. But anyway.
So we're going to do all the beef.
We're going to cube it and put it in jars.
Then the broth that's left, we'll just do straight broth.
Okay. And we're canning the beef with the broth. It's
Yes.
going to be the liquid instead of water. You can can it
We
with
need
water.
to taste this. We didn't taste it yet.
Oh yeah, we need to make sure it's good.
Yeah.
You can can it with water, but like, why not can it with broth for the flavor? Because you're going to put broth in your soup anyway, so.
Makes more sense to me.
Makes sense to me.
All right.
Let's do this. I am going to fill these jars. So we mixed our meat up since we had a lot of different cuts. We cut it and then we just mix it up so we'll get a mix in every jar. And I'm going to just take a handful and drop in. It's not quite as appetizing at this point as it will be later, I promise. Gonna fill the jar with our cubes. Add a couple more pieces. I guess I don't really need the funnel for these wide mouth jars. The funnel helps keep your rim cleaner. That's why I'm using it. All right, you want to leave about an inch headspace with beef and with the broth as well. So we'll just cover that with the broth, and I'm going to do as many of these jars as I can with the beef, and then whatever's left of the broth, we'll fill the other jars up.
we got a lot of beef and broth in this canner now.
That's exciting.
Yes, there's 6 jars of beef, 6 quarts, and 12, right?
Yep, 12 quarts of broth.
Just straight up broth, yeah.
That's very exciting. That will be awesome to have on hand, ready to go when we need a convenient meal or when we need broth, because we use broth all the time in a lot of things. So it'll be great to have that ready to go. And the kids it's really nutritious, and the kids like to just heat it up and drink it like as a meal sometimes. So that's awesome. And it has to can, like I said, it has to can for 90 minutes. Broth only has to can for like 25 minutes, I think it was. And we do 15 pounds pressure because of our elevation. Always check before you can anything, make sure you're doing it properly. But we're just putting the broth in with the beef because it's not gonna hurt the broth to can extra. Like with vegetables, you might not want to can them extra because they'll be mushy. And that was one of the reasons we decided to do beef and not vegetables and beef all together in one jar, was because we thought, well, vegetables only go for like 30 and 40 minutes. We don't want them to become mush when they can for an hour and a half. So
right.
This is gonna build pressure, and then I guess we're gonna babysit a canner while we milk cows and strain milk tonight.
This has been a day.
Yeah, it's been a busy
We've gotten
day.
a lot done today. Do you hear those pops? I hear pops topping over. Tops. Wow. I hear tops popping over here, y'all.
I hear it.
Can I unload it?
One of my favorite sounds in the world is the ping of jars sealing when you've been canning.
Yes.
You got our jar grabbers?
Can I do it?
Sure. He wants to do it.
I really like
He
unloading the
enjoys
canners.
unloading canner.
Right there. Does that look delicious, Jacob? It does? Good. All right. Because I really don't think it looks that great. But I know that it will taste great.
So mostly that was successful. We had one failure, one jar bottom.
That's probably hot, baby.
Yeah, it is hot. One jar bottom popped and broke. Sometimes that happens. Jar could have had a crack that we didn't realize was there. It's hard to tell what happens. So it does happen on occasion. That's 2 jars we've had break this year, because the other one was potatoes the other day, and that was because the canner was not coming to pressure and it got overheated. But anyway, all of these look good. They're sealing, and that's awesome. We have had a very successful day. We've got honey harvested, and now we have canned beef and broth. So I'd call that a success for sure.
And you made some butter.
Oh, and I made butter, and that was on our previous video. So all of that happened today. We made 7 pounds, 3 ounces of butter. Mostly success. I got stung by a bee. He got stung by a bee.
Jack got stung by a
Jack
bee.
got stung by a bee.
Jacob got stung by 2 bees.
Oh, a bee and a wasp.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, so, and a broken jar. But other than that, it was a successful day. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a video. If you give us a thumbs up, YouTube will know that you're enjoying this. Please comment below, let us know what you think, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
See y'all later.